Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of From This Point Forward, a Buffalo Sabres Comedy podcast. I'm Louis G here with Chris Plumer and maybe Ryan Mura. He's always a technical liability, but I think he's with us. We're looking forward to talking about this crazy-ish week with the Sabres. Let's go.
Acknowledge the fact that in one of your favorite movies of all time, you thought the slogan was "Ducks quack forever" instead of "Ducks fly together."
No,
it's
You also
bad.
think they live in wells. It's the whole theme of the movie, Lou. But he had the duck call.
They go quack.
It would be Malcolm Subban, mostly because that one season where instead of letting him play for the Sabres for the last game of the year, they had him sing the national anthem. And it was a real, like, you're under contract, the season is over. We know you've only gotten to be up here a couple of times. How about you come back up here? Oh, great, I'll put my pads in the car. No. You won't need them. Just make sure you warm up the pipes when you're driving down the 90.
Mitch Marner.
You heard it, Mitch. If you want to sign here, you can drill Ryan's mom.
All right, Ryan. Like, I think I'm a little disappointed that you're perfectly set up right now. I was looking forward for a little bit more fumbling over there, but you seem like you got shit together, or what?
We'll see. I have to stay very still because I think if I shift at all, I could very easily knock this thing over. There's probably a greater than 50% chance that this thing falls over at least once during the show.
Oh, well, we're looking.
When you put that cup down, I saw a little bit of a wobble. I was like, "This is it. We're doing it."
This is great. Chris, how are you?
Oh, fantastic, Lou. Always happy to talk Sabres hockey on a beautiful 80-degree day.
It's a gorgeous day here, and we're inside. I mean, it's late enough. We're too old to be out there doing anything, anyways. But we're in here talking about this fucking hockey team, and the fact that it would have been a lot of fun. The Chris Plumer curse went backwards last week. As soon as we got off the podcast, the next morning was when all this stuff kind of came out of the fact that Adams was kind of staying. So we had a week to build this conversation up. But I mean, let's just start there. It didn't surprise me much. I kind of felt like this was coming, hoping that it wasn't coming, but assumed that it was. Any immediate reaction to the announcement that Adams will be back, Chris?
Well, I was very excited in the morning when they announced it, and they announced all the probable organizational changes. And then we spent the week getting ready. I was ready for this. I was like, oh, they're going to be doing 2 moves, 2 hires, and a question mark in the organizational room right now, which is just classic Sabres minimal reaction.
Yeah. I texted you. I just think it's so funny that, I mean, obviously the plan was, that's at least what the word is. The plan was like to bring in other people around them to help. I mean, to help and advise. And I texted you this, but it's like to me, it's like the scene from Elf where the Christmas movie where they bring in Miles Finch to write the book for him. They're like, wait a second, the guy's like, my two head writers want to bring in another writer to write this book. He's like, brilliant. That's exactly what Kevin Adams did. He was like, hold on, listen to me. Like 5 days of presentations. I imagine him just having the PowerPoint, just like, here's what we do. We bring in people that know more than me. Okay. I stay getting paid the same office. Just like it's just I just don't. I want to be a fly in that wall to like. Did any point in that 5 days did he feel like he was actually campaigning to keep his job? Because I can't imagine that was true.
I think how it went is Terry Pegula looked Kevin Adams in the eye and he just said, "You're bad at your job." Kevin Adams said, "Yeah, I'm bad at my job. But what if I had Eric Stahl in here and you never know, maybe I wouldn't be so bad at my job." And he literally, that was the first 4 days of presentations, was just talking about Eric Stahl. He got him as excited as he was about Taylor Hall when he thought he was going to come in and win us the Stanley Cup. I don't know. What are we doing? What are we doing with the same guy in charge of the worst hockey team in the league, basically for 3+ years? I mean, how much longer does he need to build it? You know, of all of the, people to give another chance to, you give it to Kevin Adams. I mean, he's demonstrated absolutely nothing. Just another sad day in this franchise. It could work out by dumb luck, but I don't believe it was a smart move.
I mean, and then the talk is it sounds like things aren't done, or at least they're not done trying. Chad has tweeted out some things that
we're not done trying.
No, hang the banner. I do think that they're trying to get in more help in the management of the organization, whether it be a president role or somebody that oversees or advises Kevin Adams. It's just so dumb. It's like a dad who is trying to hire his kid. Sounds familiar, huh? Right? And the kid is a little bit dumb. Even more familiar. And the dad's like, you know what? We got to keep you here. You're my kid. But here's an advisor to watch you while you bang your head against the rubber wall for 6 hours. Sorry, Ryan. Bang your head against the rubber wall for 6 hours. I know you were.
I feel like most of Kevin Adams' sales pitch. Now, here's the thing. They say he's a Pegula yes man, and I don't believe that. I believe that he just knows what makes Terry run. And when he got in that room, it wasn't a sale on changing up the organization. It was, what this organization needs, and something I know you love, Terry, friendship. Let me bring in my friend Eric, and we can be best buds inside of the front office. If we have good camaraderie, it'll rub off on the players. Plus, who else is going to take my job and pay these taxes?
Holland just got reported that he's pretty much taken the Kings job. So that's one guy that they said that talked to. They said Holland, and who was the other one?
Lou Lamoriello.
Turned down the offer. But I mean, can you blame
82.
them? Can you blame them? Yeah, one. Like you said, lose 82. I really don't want a part of that. Ken Holland would have been cool to have come in here and be a president of operations or even replace Kevin Adams. I would have been more excited about that. But at the end of the day, who wants to come? Come here, and anybody that does come here, as much as I stick up for Pegula, and we had this conversation before the podcast, I hate people are just shit on him because of how this organization's been. I don't think it's all his fault, but one thing is pretty well known knowledge is that he is going to want a part in decisions, and Ken Holland's not going to walk in here and be like, "Okay, little boy, like, all right, Terry, go sit in the corner and play with your toys." Like I don't see that going over well. So
I
where
agree.
does that leave them?
I agree with you that I think Terry Pagula can unfairly get criticized, but there are certain areas where I think there are failures. I think where he's willing to take some risks and spend a little bit more with the Bills because they're successful. I think with the Sabres right now, because things are so poor, I think every decision there's at least some aspect of it that's financial. That's why they weren't paying the guys the bonuses, but and not getting more trade compensation for doing that. Money is an object right now. Let's be honest. Whether they'll admit it or not, there's an internal salary cap. So I think that whether or not you have some hockey czar come in, the fundamental problem remains the same, and that's you. I think you just have bad people, running the organization. You have bad advice, and they just clearly just can't. They haven't been able to put it together. So, just disappointed.
Do you at this point? I'll start with you, Chris. Do you at this point still have hope of like not a dream, but like a really nice addition to this role? Or are we rolling with Adams and Stahl?
I'm a little. I mean, I guess the whole organizational restructure, even the stuff they announced that happened, has me more confused as to what's going on. And I feel like they initially wanted this senior advisor when they announced everything. And I think whatever they had their eyes on fell through. Whether it was Ken Holland or Lou Lamoriello for Sirius, or if there's been other conversations that may or may not be ongoing. I almost don't care if there's another voice in the room if they make sincere efforts in this offseason to jolt the roster a little bit.
Little Chris Plumer curse. He says the name Taylor Hall, and Taylor Hall scores the third goal. Is up Carolina 3-1. So we'll get there in a minute. I want to believe Rick Dudley is an option until he says he's not. Like almost every year, people say this, right? Like the connection, he played here, yada yada, and then like nothing never comes out of it. But no sides ever say anything. Like you never heard that there's an interest. You never heard that Dudley has been like, oh, I got offered it, but I don't want it. Like there's never been that. But it just makes so much sense. Like Sabres need it. He's part of the organization, alumni. Like, let's do this. I just wonder maybe that's a home run shot that they try after the Panthers are done with their season.
Do you wonder though whether all of this is just like utterly meaningless as to whether or not they'll be good? I mean, think about the best organizations right now. I mean, okay, you have Florida. I mean, they're perennial winners right now. I mean, but like, there's so many teams that can just like luck into a good season here and there. I mean, what I'm trying to say is like, are the best teams, that or the team that win the Stanley Cup, are they always necessarily the best constructed team? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's really going to make a difference if you have the one person in there that's going to give you the right advice on how to. I feel like we are spinning our wheels, and we're kind of in the position where, in football, where you don't fire a head coach and he's kind of like a lame duck, right? And and you're bringing in a new quarterback, but you're not going to have, they're only going to be together for 1 year. I feel like we're just wasting our time with Adams. And until that move is made, we're never going to actually move forward.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, throwing stuff around my house right now. In the middle of a Royal Rumble here with my cats. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm with you. I wonder if they strike out there, if they strike out with adding anybody, and this is it. That if Terry really doesn't open up the pocketbooks and tell Kevin, like, go send out max contracts and get somebody here, because I lost out on this. This is the one thing I can control. Let me ask you this question, because he probably will get one elsewhere, I'd imagine. So I don't know what my thoughts are. So I'll ask Ryan. I'll start with you. If they max contract to Mitch Marner, is that an automatic yes, or do you think he's going to get that offer from a few different people?
I guess I don't know what is truly important to him. I saw something recently about how he, doesn't want to necessarily be too far from where he currently is, because he's got his family, and I think he grew up in this area, right? He grew up in the Ontario area, so
Yeah.
I think it makes a ton of sense. He's a Bills fan. I mean, we've talked about it. I love the idea. I don't know if that gets it done. I can't get around the idea that Toronto lets him actually get to free agency. I mean, they can, I think, start negotiating with him before he hits free agency. They're the only team that can do that. So I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he'll hit the free market, but you can't imagine that he's looking at Buffalo, other than location, I guess proximity to where he wants to be, and looking at it and thinking it's an attractive option.
Winning or losing the Stanley Cup? I'm sorry, I'll start with you, Chris, so you can answer the first question. But winning or losing the Stanley Cup adds to the Leafs keeping Marner. You can answer both questions, Chris, but I like that part.
Well, as far as I agree with Ryan on that. I don't know what's in the man's heart. I know I see stuff all the time about him talking about his love of the Bills. I know last year when there were rumors about them trying to unload him after the playoff bouncing, that was something that they discussed, was he didn't want to go a lot of places because he didn't want to uproot his entire life and family. I don't know if I don't feel like Toronto would be able to match a lot of other teams' offers cash-wise, because they've got a lot of stuff going on. I don't know if max contract would do it for him without a little more work done on the roster with him, because he's not a number one guy, and I don't think he's trying to be a number one guy. I think he likes his role as a second, third top forward on a top offensive team. And then Stanley Cup for Toronto. I mean, I feel like if they win the cup, they are going to do everything they can to keep that band together.
See, I kind of read it the other way. I would read it as, if he wins a cup with Toronto, he checks that off the list. Maybe he's more free. He's more freed up to go, hey, I'm going to go try this pipe dream, be a hero in Buffalo, and go be, Josh Allen and I are going to go run the city. I don't know. I mean, that's possible.
I was going more the organization doing everything they can to keep him there than him walking away.
Got it.
Yeah, but I think I like that point for sure, right? Like, right away when I asked the question and thought about it for a second, and Chris was answering, I'm like, yeah, that's probably true. If they win, they might try to like keep shit together. But I like your thought process too. That's good. If like gun to head, I think 9 out of 10 scenarios he is a free, like he's going to end up signing somewhere else. I think it's very 90% that he is on a different team next year. And I have them winning the Stanley Cup, so I guess that's my answer. because they do have them winning the cup. Speaking of the cup, not so much happening since we're still early in round 2, although all my picks again looking great. I will say this, I have Toronto winning the cup. Man, we could start there, but if I had a bet right now, if I was allowed to change my pick, I think I'd pick Florida. The way that they've looked the last 2 games, and now like just the pressure on a team that has not done well with pressure in the past, I think I would flip my pick right now and go to the Panthers. What do you think, Chris?
I mean, the same thing I said before, the last time we talked about it, that was my thing with the Maple Leafs, was like, I'll believe it when I see it. So I'm still feeling good about Florida taking this series from them. Even though is it 2-1 now, or is it tied up?
2-2.
It's tied up. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You can't trust the Maple Leafs in the playoffs when things get a little shaky.
That's where I'm starting to feel right.
I would not give up on the Leafs just yet. I mean, it's best of 3 right now. So I'm still pretty confident that they're the better team. Pretty disappointed in the, I'll say my Capitals for the playoff picks, but it looks like they're going to fall into a hole here unless something, miraculous happens against the Hurricanes. But and then, you certainly got a feel for the Oilers, right? After, a heartbreaking finish to that game. Do you blame goaltending? Do you blame, the defense? Well, as a roller hockey goalie, you always blame the defenseman. You never blame he was not out of position. No, of course not. He was trying to squeeze him out to the outside because he knew there was only a few seconds left.
Yes, I agree. Wait, are you saying that sarcastically? Because I think he did the right thing there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was fine. I mean, he didn't have to, honestly, he probably could have just stayed in the net. I guess. Yeah,
I think he was trying to put exactly what you just said. Like, I know you're saying it sarcastically, but that's what I felt like he was doing. And you can't blame Draisaitl either. It was just a weird play, but insane. Isn't it crazy that was it wasn't even in the top 2. It was the third latest game-winning goal in playoff history.
Yeah.
That there was 2 others under -7. Kadri during the COVID year.
The COVID year, yeah,
was like 0.1. And I don't remember what number 2 was, but that's insane to think that was in 3rd place. But yeah, that's it. And Skinner was already struggling. Although, man, have you heard his fucking interviews? And he came out and he's like, I gave the team the chance to win. I mean, he's like, I did it, like bad luck, like whatever. For him to be that cocky after losing his job in the postseason and then coming back due to injury and not doing well. And he was like, yeah, I gave my team the chance. Like he never. And then I went back because on the video comments, there was Oiler fans going like, this dude is like always like this. And I went back and listened to interviews throughout the year. And that dude does not take accountability for anything, which is my type of guy. Honestly, I'm rooting for him because we're so similar. But yeah, that's another one, right? Like where I'm like, a team that's been in fragile places before, Edmonton, and haven't won the big game, quote unquote. Are they going to collapse now after something like that?
Oh gosh, I just thought of an amazing, thing that could happen here, right? So everybody in Buffalo, we hate Jack Eichel, but what if Jack Eichel does deliver us Connor McDavid after all? Because as we know, I've said multiple times, they're going to bounce him from the playoffs, and Connor McDavid is going to get traded for every player on the Sabres roster. So who says no to that deal? Honestly, I'm asking, who says no? Who says no? Roster limits be damned.
I
I bring up everybody from Rochester. Bring up what is the Jacksonville
yeah, I think
ECHL team. Fill the slots.
I will say this: if Edmonton didn't win the Stanley Cup,
I'm calling them.
they say no.
I'm calling them though. If they don't win the Stanley Cup, I don't care if they don't win. You know, if they don't win the Stanley Cup again, I'm like, listen, how many times are you going to try it with Connor McDavid? You can't do it. The guy can't win in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Dallas, Winnipeg. I'm starting to laugh before I even talk about it because it's become a thing where you and I text each other about how bad Connor Hellebuyck is. It is insanely crazy how bad. But then he had a good game.
He had a good game.
Yeah, but man, it's just continuing his bad luck and not being good.
Another
I
5-goal performance the other day.
With Dallas getting back Robertson, like they are. I think we both picked them right to win the Stanley. I just said Toronto earlier, but I do think when we did this in the beginning, we picked the Stars to win the Stanley Cup, and they're so good and they're firing on all cylinders right now. They have 4 lines that can score. Like it's crazy.
I mean, anybody can score in this series in Winnipeg, though.
As long as Connor Hellebuyck's on the other side, for sure. All right. Well, I got some fun drought trivia for you. I know you guys love it. You look forward to it every week, and I got some for you. All right. Let's do this. Who has the most wins? We're going to start top to bottom and see if you can go. The most wins in the drought era as an NHL coach, sir.
Oh. Overall wins as an NHL coach?
No, wins
or
during
just with
the drought.
Sabres?
Yeah,
Okay.
for the Sabres during the drought years.
Lindy Ruff.
No, he's not number 1. I'm not going to tell you where they are when you miss because you got to go 1 through 6.
Bilesma?
No. Can I just tell you?
Is it Don Granato?
It is Don Granato. But can I just tell you, we talked about that whole time that we did the Mary Fuck Kill with the coaches. We didn't even mention Don Granato's name, and that dude has the most wins in this whole era. Like he was the best coach. He was the longest tenured as well.
Let's pump the brakes on whether he was the best coach. He might have benefited from the best roster.
He got the longest tenure. That's all I'm saying. But you might be right there. I don't know if I want to fight you on that one too much. Number 2 of the drought era. There's 6 of these guys, obviously. Oh, wait, no, there's 7. Sorry.
Lyndon Ruff.
Yes, Lindy Ruff is second with Granato is first with 122. Ruff is second with 81. Third. Yeah, 81 because he did a year and a half before the drought ended too.
Yeah,
remember?
That's the crazy thing though. I had a memory of him coaching longer, while the drought was on, right?
No, he got fired second year.
Yeah,
they band-aided quick.
That's the funniest thing. That's like the whole wraparound on this thing is like Lindy got fired as soon as things got sour, like most NHL teams do. Now we're like holding on to this GM for 27 years while he fucking runs the organization in the fucking Las Vegas.
No joke. I would right now support, and you could quote me on this. I would rather have Darcy GM or Darcy Darcy Regier as GM, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
When this talk started happening this week about an advisor, I was like, "Where's Darcy? Bring him the fuck in. Let's go."
Listen,
Between the two of them, they would never complete a trade, but when they did, it would be amazing.
his biggest war crime was what? That he told everybody that there was going to be suffering. Well, he was fucking right. There was a lot of suffering.
Yeah,
I was just about to say he was honest with everybody and he got canned for it.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. No, I would bring back Darcy in a heartbeat. Number 3 of the drought era in wins.
Is that one Dan Bilesma?
That one is Dan Bilesma with 68. Number 4.
I'll go with I can't guess Ted Nolan. Can I? I'm gonna go Kruger.
Not Kruger.
Phil Housley.
Bill Housley is number 4 with 58. Number 5. There's 3 left.
Is that one Kruger?
That one is Kruger. 2 more, 6 and 7.
I'm trying to think of who the other coach was during that era other than Ted Nolan.
It's going to be one of those things.
Ted Nolan. Let's go Ted Nolan, number 6.
Ted Nolan, number 6.
Got number 6.
All right, lucky number 7 then for sure.
He is number
We
7.
had Granado. Kruger. Bilesma.
This is one of those like, oh yeah, it's like 500 of the players on the roster for the last 20 years were like, oh yeah, that dude played here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had an extensive discussion, and there's only 7 coaches.
Ron Rolston.
Oh,
ladies
man.
and gentlemen, Ron Rolston is
Ron
the
Rolston
answer.
had more wins than
Ted Nolan. That's
Ted
all.
Nolan?
Yeah, 19 to 17.
Wow.
It wasn't much. Okay, I didn't know how to word this when I was sober, and now the gummy is hitting. So this is tough to word. But the longest it's been since we've lost to any team. All right. This is like that one episode of Analytics for the Nerds where I try to spell. All right.
Lou, spell cheese real quick.
This is oh man, never mind. I'm not even gonna try it.
No, please,
I can't wait to
Come on.
maybe I'll go back. I'll go back to it. Let's see this one. Which Sabres drought player won the Rookie of the Year? The Sabres last made the playoffs.
Tyler Myers.
No, but that's a good.
I was sure it was Tyler Myers.
Yeah, that is a good guess because he won it, but not the player.
So they won Rookie of the Year the last year the Sabres made the playoffs?
Correct. They did not. I said that they're a drought player. They did not have to play for the Sabres that year.
Okay.
So they did not play for the Sabres that year.
So they won Rookie of the Year somewhere else.
Oh yeah,
is what you're saying.
That's right.
Okay. The wording is. I can't wait till you explain this other question now.
Man, I'm gonna do ChatGPT. I'm gonna need desperately here.
I still can't figure out what you're asking us.
So 11.
Right now?
Yeah.
Basically, we need to know who won Rookie of the Year in 2011, 2012.
But it
when
was
they
a
weren't
player
on
that
the Sabres
was a
yet.
player that has played for the Sabres
Oh,
during the drought.
isn't it Skinner?
Yes, there you go.
There we
Ryan
go.
Mira, Skinner, just right off the bat. Boom. Soon as I got through to him.
As soon as I figured out what the question was.
Yes. As soon as I decoded your Zodiac puzzle of a question.
I have one more normal question, and then I'll try to get
You
back.
sure about that?
All right. There are only 4 teams that the Sabres have at least a tied record with since the drought started. Can you name those 4 teams?
Columbus Blue, like tied with or better.
Yeah.
Columbus,
Okay.
Columbus Blue Jackets.
Wrong.
Oh, Detroit.
Toronto.
Wrong.
Detroit.
Wrong.
Good start.
We're crushing it.
Arizona, formerly Utah.
Wrong.
What the fuck?
San
Yeah,
Jose.
That's bad. San Jose, you got actually 15-8 during the drought versus them, and the Sharks are the team that the Sabres have the best winning percentage first all time. Little known fact.
I'm gonna go with Ducks Fly Forever.
No, but I will say this: you're starting to get on the right path here with the teams that you're
Yeah.
picking. I will say that.
Montreal.
No, dude. I'm like you
The
guys are.
Kings.
I'm so sorry. I go, you're on the right path after you guys picked 2 California teams.
Oh, I didn't.
and you're like, oh yeah, Montreal. I was like, how the fuck did that get there? No,
that's
not
the
Montreal.
California of Canada. I've always said.
3 more teams, all West Coast.
The Kings.
Kings are one of them. 13-10 since the drought started.
The Kraken.
No, Kraken has beat us 5
Mercilessly.
5 out of the 6 games we've played them since their existence, which is insane. No.
West Coast teams. Vancouver.
Both are currently in the playoffs.
Oh, well then not Vancouver. Edmonton.
Edmonton, we are 12-1 against the Oilers since the start of the drought. So fuck you and your McDavid bitches. And
Do we smoke Connor Hellebuck during the regular season?
No.
Damn.
What's that?
Stars, is that the other team?
No.
Calgary?
Nope. They're not in the playoffs.
Oh, Golden Knights.
Oh.
Then, I guess.
Oh, in
Yeah,
the playoffs.
Golden Knights.
Yeah.
7-7 versus the Golden Knights. Although we've won more since.
You guys remember? Our Stanley Cup when we beat Jack Eichel once?
Yes. He had never heard the arena so loud. It was the greatest night of my life, Ryan.
I'm sitting here looking at this information and I can't do it. I'm
Ask
sorry, I
the
can't do it.
goddamn question, Lou.
I try to figure out like the the longest that you could go back to find a team that the Sabres haven't beat, like have only beat. So last time that they lost to a specific team, how long can you go back? Like they've lost almost every team the last year. There was one team that they haven't lost to in 2 years. That's the question. Who was that team that they've lost to almost every single team? I think there was one other team outside the last 365 days. And then between the 2 seasons. And then
all right, let's go Minnesota.
No, but
St.
good
Louis.
guess. What's that?
St. Louis is my second one.
Nope.
Think of teams that we don't play a lot.
Yep. You're in the geographical region. If
Montreal.
that was good.
You say Minnesota, and what else did you say?
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Chicago.
That is right. The last time that we lost the Chicago Blackhawks is January 17th, 2023. It's only because we've
that
played them
the-
3 times since, but
Is that the Tage Thompson 5-goal game?
Yes.
Oh, it might be the one that
Yeah.
they lost, right? No,
No, they won, but they
no, then this would be the
they
last. Yeah.
they Chicago made it close after it being like 5-0.
I don't remember that. He's tearing up the worlds. Did you see that?
He's really, really beating Holland badly. Famed hockey superpower.
Luxembourg. All the countries that could listen to this podcast before last week when we switched to we finally got the Robbie off the thing. I silenced them all. I had to go through YouTube and copyright and the whole thing. I silenced them. So now when you go back and listen to them, you'll just have to think of the song in your head when you listen to it open. It's going to hurt.
Oh, we do.
All right. We're going to cut a little bit short tonight. For Ryan, Chris, you guys have a good night. We will be back next week with our new general manager announcement, Rick Dudley. After Toronto comes back, wins 4-2, they fire Dudley.
You guys got me on the Darcy train. All right, we're gonna start
Let's
a
go.
letter campaign. Let's bring him back. Let's get the whole Lindy, Darcy. Who knows what Seth Appert's doing? He can write a letter to Darcy for us,
Sorry, let's before signing off, because what is that? They promote him to.
Is he not the assistant coach anymore?
And no one seems to know that. Like, they promoted him to a position, so you would think he's not the assistant coach anymore, but no one's coming out and being like, no, he's not the assistant coach. Because I don't give a shit if you promote him to do anything else but to coach this power play. But, let him go. Yeah, sure. Put him in an office somewhere, but I don't want him to still be on the bench.
I think we're onto something with this this reunion tour. I mean, first of all, don't put it past Terry Pegula to dig into the nostalgia, right? I mean, that's very possible. And secondly, why not? Let's bring Derek Roy back. I think part of the problem is we don't have these guys going to Sky Bar. We don't have them going to Soho. Let's player development coach Derek Roy. I think makes a lot of sense.
Run over to Cobblestone during intermission, knock down a couple of shooters, get back on the ice the Derek Roy way. Let's go, baby.
That's it. All right. Well, let's hope for the best there. Let's hope we're talking about some kind of addition to this. Let's hope we're talking about Leafs win. And man, I hate that I just said that out loud, but I'm rooting for the Leafs. For Chris, Ryan, I'm Louis G. We'll see you next week.
Future Saber, Connor McDavid.